Hey,
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
LaToya, how are you doing?
I am absolutely amazing. Looking amazing, feeling amazing. Everything is just amazing.
That's good. So we're here again, you guys, on this Friday night with
Again.
another live with the Chanel Love 22 podcast.
Yes.
Um, co-host my Bloodwork bestie,
Yes.
Miss LaToya Buchanan, and tonight we are just gonna touch on a couple of hot topics for the month. Of course, it's still
Hot.
Mental Health Awareness Month, but it's also Lupus Awareness Month. So, LaToya,
Yes,
I'll let
ma'am.
you start.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. So, first, let me say happy Systemic Lupus Awareness Month to all of my friends, all of my family, all of you out there in the world who have received this diagnosis and who has experienced these symptoms in your life or throughout your lifetime. I want to recognize you and let you know that we see you. We understand that it's not an easy journey, but we definitely send you good thoughts, good prayers, okay, good energy, good spirits to what it is that you experience and what you go through. So I understand that that is not an easy road that is traveled, but we see you and we're here for you. To those of you who may not know what systemic lupus is, who may not have friends or family who've received this diagnosis, lupus is your body's security system basically getting confused. Okay, so normally your body's army, which I'm going to call your immune system, fights germs to keep your body healthy. But in lupus, the army actually gets mixed up and it starts attacking its own colleague that's right there in the army with them. So it starts to attack one another, but it's done by mistake. Okay. So it's almost like superheroes accidentally hitting their friends instead of the bad guys, if you want to look at it in a gaming light. So if you imagine that your body is like a castle, so lupus is when the guards actually start breaking the castle's windows and doors instead of actually protecting them. So this can cause rashes. Like one of the markers of lupus is a red butterfly rash that people get on their face. And it's because the army is attacking the skin, right? Tiredness because the body is too busy fighting now. This is a constant thing. It does not stop fighting itself. So you get that fatigue, you get that tiredness, and then you get swollen joints like in your knees and in your fingers, but because the army is attacking those too. So for those of you who do not and have not heard of systemic lupus, but you may run into someone with it, make sure you give them good love, good energy, good vibes, because this is something that is not easy to actually deal with when your body has turned on itself and does not recognize it and starts to attack your joints, your organs, and your cells as if they are a virus or bacteria that has entered your body. So it can be very painful for people who have to experience this. So we see you, we recognize you, and we send you much love. Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
Yes.
and I also think it's important to touch on how lupus symptoms can overlap with mental health concerns as well. Symptoms such
Yes.
as fatigue, brain fog,
Ooh.
mood changes, low motivation, irritability, or a lot of people just feel like this is a part of just being stressed or just burned out from the daily life or things that we're
Yeah.
going through. But in essence, it could be related to something else, such as the start of lupus, or because I think you did mention that lupus is one of those, it's hard to diagnose, right? I'm not sure if you mentioned that,
Absolutely.
but it's
Yes.
definitely hard to diagnose. So 9 times out of 10, a lot of people have it for a long period of time without being diagnosed with lupus. So they're actually dealing with those symptoms and those issues early
Right.
on, and they're not understanding what's going on with their body, what's happening,
Exactly.
and they deal with it for a long time. So they kind of, I don't want to say, but people do kind of get used to dealing with those symptoms and think that's just a part of their daily life, when in fact it definitely is not.
It
And
is not. It is not.
yeah,
Yeah.
warning signs, like inflammation or hormone imbalances, nutrient depletion,
Mm-hmm.
especially when they become chronic, are early warning signs. I feel like once you get to that diagnosis of lupus, a
Mhm.
lot of damage has been done
Yes.
already to your body. So
Yes, because it's like the great imitator, right? Because it's so many different symptoms that it mimics many other things. Like when you think of joint inflammation, if someone comes to you as a provider and they say, I have joint inflammation, you're going to think like rheumatoid arthritis, right?
mhm,
Fatigue, you may start to look at their diet. You may look at their blood count. You may look to see if they're anemic, right? If
mhm.
they're complaining about pain all the time, you might be like, you know what? Let me check these pain points. This person might have fibromyalgia. Or if they're telling you again that they're tired and you see they're not anemic, you might be like, that's chronic fatigue syndrome. So it really mimics so many other different diagnoses that it can make diagnosing systemic lupus tricky, and
Difficult. Yeah.
it can take years sometimes for people to get an accurate diagnoses. And just imagine going through those symptoms for years without someone being able to tell you exactly what's happening with you and what is wrong.
Yeah, you hear people say things like, I'm I'm functioning, but I don't feel like myself,
Mm,
or I'm sad. Well, I'm not sad, but I'm not really okay either. So,
yes.
everybody don't. That's why I always, promote, of course, being in tune with how you are feeling within your body, your emotions,
Yes.
and
Important.
where. Yes, because a lot, like I said, you get used to feeling these certain things, or get used to being tired or having brain fog, and you think that you are just stressed out and dealing with everything that you deal with on a daily basis, and that's
Yes,
why.
because a lot like
But that really isn't the there really is something underlying going on. So of course that brings us to the root cause blood work analysis that we
absolutely.
always mention, because that's what I mean when I think before in a couple of lives back I was saying how you might not know that your body is in dysfunction or in disease until
Mhm.
it's been a while. Your body's giving you signals, giving you
Yeah.
hints, giving you
Subtle ones. Subtle ones.
yeah, subtle ones
Yeah.
that you really don't pay attention to, or it
Right.
may not show up in your normal blood work.
Right.
But
For a
'cause
while, like in the case
yeah,
of lupus. Yes.
yeah, there are different levels of normal, and then
Okay.
there's optimal functioning for
Right.
functional medicine, right? So
Right.
you want to dive deeper into that blood work to see exactly what's going on and catch things before they turn into something else. Like
Or
what is it? Be proactive, not reactive.
not reactive.
Right. You want to kind of catch things before they turn into something worse. So
Right, right, exactly. I mean, because like you said, it's can take a while sometimes to get this diagnosis, because these symptoms kind of come, but they don't all come at the same time. You might initially start feeling really tired, and especially with someone who works or has a very busy lifestyle. When someone feels like they're tired, you're not thinking, "Oh, I might have this." You're thinking, "Oh, I'm tired." I've worked a lot. I've worked long hours. I've been taking care of my family, or I've been traveling a lot, or I have jet lag. Those are some of the things you think of. You don't think immediately, oh, I might have a diagnosis. So,
right,
and that's why the blood work analysis is very important, because you never know what can cause a trigger. Like in the case with systemic lupus, sunlight can definitely be a trigger for flares and things like that.
absolutely.
So it's like it can really worsen their symptoms. Even, I mean, it can affect up to 60% of them, right?
Right.
And it can start really actually causing that rash. And then, so when you think about it, so if you think about someone who goes to the beach and they lay on the beach, right, and then they suddenly get a rash, even if it's on their face, they're gonna automatically think, what? I was sunburned.
Just sunlight, yeah, sunburn.
Right. So you're not going to think like, oh, this is a sign that I might have, lupus. So again, that's why that blood work analysis is important, especially if you know that there are things that have happened in your family, different diagnoses people have received in your family. The blood work analysis can help you to stay in front of those things and not be, as Sweet TMP said, reactive to it, because now your blood pressure has shot up and you have headaches and you're having visual changes. Now you want to get your blood work analysis, which those people still should. But that
Right,
is the true
right.
definition of being proactive and not reactive. Right.
Yeah, that's very good point, LaToya. And also, when you understand how inflammation can travel through the bloodstream and even
Yeah.
affect brain,
Mhm.
you kind of understand how things like a poor diet, toxins, chronic stress can contribute to emotional imbalances, and then also contribute to that diagnosis of lupus because, like you said, it's an autoimmune
Mhm.
disorder, causes a lot of inflammation.
Mhm.
Um, so that's very important to understand. But triggers that people well that functional medicine can look for is such as blood sugar swings,
Mhm.
infections like hidden infections, poor
Yes.
liver detox,
Mhm.
nutrient depletion,
Yes.
and of course we talked about hormonal imbalance, and
Yes.
then just how a person's feeling mentally and physically. Like
God.
I said, paying attention to your body and paying attention to what your body's trying to tell you. I do know that well, a couple of people that I know who have lupus definitely tires easily, and they can't
Mhm.
do tolerate the same activity that they normally used to tolerate before their body starts to be like, hold on, you're doing too much, you know. So feeling sluggish, or even their thyroid being off or having low iron, um are things that you need to look into. But
Yes.
like you said, these symptoms that we're talking about are so common with other things.
Yeah.
That's why it's so hard to like say, okay, it's lupus, like, because your provider, I'm sure, is doing diligence trying to be sure that it's not those other things
Right.
causing your symptoms. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. And let's go back to that poor diet you were talking about. Let me tell you something. Yeah, I've behaved, sweet TMP, for the first 11 minutes and 48 seconds. But listen.
Ah,
Listen, what we eat as Americans is a very unhealthy diet. And I know we don't like to hear that, but a lot of things that we choose, if you think about the majority of foods that you choose on a day to day basis, they are processed, they are boxed, they are canned, or someone else is cooking them at a restaurant. Remind you, when the ingredients have been delivered, unless it's farm to table, they have been processed, they have been
right,
boxed, they have been canned. Okay. So just because you're eating out and someone else is cooking it does not necessarily make it healthy for you either. So the important fact that I want to bring home here is that when you have control over your foods, so whenever you get something that you get from the perimeter of the grocery store,
that's
then
the best place to shop, right?
there you go. That is the best place to shop. You want to ensure that you are preparing your own food, and now you have control over what actually goes into it. You know the type of oil that you're cooking with. And I know, I get it. I get it. I too have a busy life. However, you have to, it's important to balance. Is my length of time and quality of life important while I'm here on earth? Or is it me eating cheeseburgers 3 and 4 times a week and also feeding my kids cheeseburgers 3 and 4 times a week? Like, what is the most important for me? Because I'm saying this because unhealthy eating
Hmm.
actually triggers so many different things in your DNA to cause you to manifest symptoms that are in your bloodline. And people who've experienced this before you never know what it's going to be to cut that gene expression on of those different diagnoses that are in your bloodline, right? So it's important that you control the things that you can, and the things that you can control is your food, big time, big, big, big time. And if you can say, you know what, it costs too much money for me to shop the perimeter of the grocery store, I got to get canned this, and I have to get boxed this. Sometimes that's fine. But when you get things out of a can, rinse it well at least twice. Put it in a strainer. You can get a strainer from the Dollar Tree for $1.25. It's not a dollar number, but it's $1.25. You can get a strainer and make sure you run water over your vegetables and clean out as many preservatives as possible, because it's the preservatives, it's the sugar, it's those unhealthy things, the unhealthy fats that get into our blood and actually cut the gene expression on for you to now manifest symptoms of things that have been in your bloodline prior to you. So again, driving home here, what you put into your mouth mind you, is going to go down your esophagus into your stomach. And now your intestines are responsible for absorbing things and pulling things out of that food. And then it goes into your bloodstream, and your bloodstream carries it, your cells carry it to different organs for your body to now utilize to produce energy, to produce clarity of mind, to produce good skin, to promote hair growth, right? That's how it works. So if you're putting things here that once it gets down into your stomach and into your intestines is not able to pull anything good out, what is going to your organs then? What are your cells carrying now around your body, to your heart, right? To your liver, to your kidneys? What good does it have to carry around? So if you think about what you're putting in your mouth and you think about, okay, what good is it in this that I'm consuming? And what is this that I'm eating going to carry to the rest of my organs in my body? It'll help you think differently about what you consume, and also what's going to your brain, to your
Right.
eyes, right? To your
Yep.
nose, to your ears, to your taste buds, your mouth, everything, your nails. They all need specific vitamins and minerals for them to not only be a part of your body, but for them to glow, baby, for it to thrive.
Right.
Your
Right.
body needs to thrive, not for you to just be alive. That was a bar.
To thrive, right?
Yes, it needs to thrive, not for you to just be
Yeah.
alive. So,
So also, LaToya, I did want to touch a little bit on how people always are obsessed with like genetics, or this runs in my family, or things like that, which can possibly contribute to some of the diseases or things that you experience in your life. But there are ways to change your lifestyle and to change your eating habits, the things that you're doing, because if you are genetically predisposed to something, that
mhm,
does not mean that you have to, I mean, that does not guarantee that you're going to get it. If you change your lifestyle, like say diabetes, or
mhm,
even when we're talking about lupus, of course, because it's family history of autoimmune disease can increase the risk of someone having lupus. But like we discussed, all these environmental factors, lifestyle, dietary, all these things definitely contribute. And if you are someone who is at risk for being predisposed to that, or have that genetic gene within your DNA, then of course you want to do things proactively. You want to be sure that you are not putting yourself in that position to allow your body to express that gene, or express that defect within your DNA. So I agree 100% with you about dietary changes, or just being mindful of the foods and things that we put inside our body. You talked
yeah,
about whole foods, fruits, vegetables, things that
yeah,
grow versus things being processed and made in a factory,
yes.
and chemicals being added to them. Removing dairy from your diet is also something that can help decrease
Ooh,
inflammation and help
significant.
people, yeah, will help people who help decrease flares. Um,
Right.
Also, gluten is another one.
Hmm.
It's another sensitivity. A lot of people are allergic to gluten, or even have sensitivity to gluten, and it's in a lot of foods that we don't even realize. When you
That's become popular these past years
Yes,
too.
yes.
Yeah,
If you look on the back of your food and pay attention, you will see how much, I mean, gluten is just about in almost
yeah,
everything, and it causes so much inflammation and gut issues as well.
it does.
Processed sugars,
Hmm.
seed oils. Just be mindful of the types of things that you that's that you're putting into your body. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about how we talked about unhealthy gut,
Hmm.
lead inflammation and autoimmune disorders. But and I will touch on that inflammation.
Ooh,
Inflammation just
ooh,
throws even on a cellular level. Like your cells cannot process and do what it's supposed to do on a cellular level, and can cause so many issues. So it's so easy for things to cause inflammation within your body, though. Like we talked about, environmental toxins, foods, um, all these different things can just cause inflammation throughout your body, not just in your gut, but throughout your entire body. So you are experiencing some of these symptoms. So an anti-inflammatory diet or nutrition, or things to kind of help you stay away from food that cause inflammation. And
Right.
I wanted to talk about stress reduction,
Yeah.
breath work, journaling,
Ooh.
therapy, sleep
Mm,
support. This is all key for calming your immune system, because
yes.
not just what you put inside your body, it's how you treat yourself. Your body is, you only have one body. So
One.
learning learning how to connect with yourself, how to relax yourself, how to do the breath work, journaling, therapy, all these things are key for you to learn how to
Right.
calm yourself and maintain that low stress,
And
because it
people.
definitely is stressful.
And people. And
Right,
people. And
right.
people. Say it again for the and people.
And people.
That is
Yep,
okay.
absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
okay. Yes. I sent out a message this week to a group that I'm a part of. And, it was very important for me to, encourage people and let them know that you have to choose to evaluate your own physical and mental space, right? If you
Yeah,
don't have it in you to give, and this is for, us givers out there, and I say us, but I have become a very wise giver. That means that I know when to give and I know when not to. And that's actually okay. Because if you don't have it in you to give them good thoughts. Okay.
right.
Give them
Right.
good prayers, give them good energy. And in some cases, you must give them goodbye. Okay. Because they might not be good for you,
Give them
and you
goodbye. Okay. Wait,
goodbye
that was a good one. That was a
because
good one.
that's good. It's a good buy. It's not a bad
Right.
buy. You're not
Right.
saying bad buy, right? You're saying good buy. That means
Right.
I wish you good on your way away from me.
I wish you well
I
on your
wish
journey.
you well on your journey moving forward. That's not a bad thing. That word that we want to think is a bad thing actually has a key word in it, which is good.
Right.
Good bye. Okay.
Goodbye.
Now, if you say bye, that means you're done. But goodbye means that I wish you
I
well
wish you well.
on your journey away from me,
Right.
right? Because I'm going to do well on my journey because this is what's healthy for me mentally. This is what's healthy for me physically. And that means that right now, this relationship, this friendship may not be it. No, it is not may not. It is not in my best interest. This
Right.
relationship, it is not keeping my mind at a healthy state. If you're crying a lot, and I don't know why I'm going here, but if you're crying a lot, if you are feeling low about yourself a lot, if your thoughts are dark a lot, you
Mm-hmm.
really have to evaluate your space, who you're talking to on a regular basis, who you listen to on a regular basis,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Who
that's
you
that's
talk to,
that's bars right there.
right? Because
That's bars.
it will really suck up your mental energy. And then you're wondering why you're so tired, right? And why you don't have motivation for yourself anymore. Look at who you talking to all the time.
Right.
And not only that, but look at what's happening in their life. And if
Mm-hmm.
you look at who you're talking to and you look at what's happening in their life, it will explain so much about what's happening or not happening in your life,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So yeah, that is the best thing for you to be able to release that, because then that leads you back down the road of stress. And we talked about stress before and how
Mm-hmm.
those chemicals staying high in your body for an extended period of time, which those
Mm-hmm.
chemicals are there because it's trying to teach you, are we going to fight or are we going to run away? And you
Right.
trying to balance which one you're going to do. So those chemicals are still at a very high level in your body and they're burning out your thyroid, which is a gland that releases hormone that helps you to have healthy skin, a healthy heart. People who have heart palpitations, what your thyroid look like, what your T3 look
Right.
like, nails brittle, hair falling out. You say, oh, that's stress. It's stress, all right. It's stress in your thyroid. But
Right.
you
Right.
go to the doctor and they say that it's normal. But again, this all comes from stress, can
Stress.
come from stress. Let me not make it all inclusive. It can, a component, stress is a large component of why you can start to go down this road. So
Right.
I had to say that. So goodbye
Yeah.
is a good thing.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I saw this post on Instagram, and I was like, you know what, that'll be a good challenge. So it basically was saying, go 24 hours without saying anything negative, being like
Mhm.
around any negative talk, like just try to think positive for 24 hours. Like, make
Yes.
it intentional, because of course we all have negative thoughts on a
Mm-hmm.
daily basis, right? Like,
Right.
am I gonna make it? I'm not gonna finish this, or just constantly. So
Yeah.
even if you have those negative thoughts, replace it with something positive. Try
Right.
that for 24 hours, like intentionally try that. And then it basically was saying, watch how your day changes, or how you attract more positive things in your day and in your life, how things start to happen in a better way for you when you think more positive, think on a positive level. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to try that. Like, seriously, go 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever it is, and then not don't when I say don't engage, you talking about goodbye. That mean those people who kind of, how some people, you could just talk to them and they kind of just bring you down with their conversation.
Exactly. We know who
So
that.
stay away. Yeah, like just try to avoid those people for sure, and then do not engage in any negative talk or any even what you watch, like what you watch on TV, which the music you listen to, like just make everything positive, everything positive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that should be a challenge. Like,
You
let's
know
try to
what?
do
I
that.
see. I see that challenge. I see that challenge of 24 hours with only speaking. Let's speaking only
Only
positive things.
positive. Yes.
And that's whether you believe it or not, because understand your words guide your nervous system. So
Mm.
you actually tell your nervous system what to do. And if you say all is well, then your nervous system says all is well. And
And
if you don't
believe it.
believe, there you go. That's what
Believe
I'm saying.
it.
If you don't believe it, after you keep repeating it, faith comes by hearing, and you will start to believe all is well. You will completely not even think about whatever it is that is stressing, right? So let's start with that 24 hours of positive words. And one thing that stood out to me when you said that as well was Kiki Palmer. She was doing an interview with someone and she talked about reframing. Like
Mm,
whenever she doesn't get a role, instead of her saying, "Man, I didn't get that role," she says, "Man, that movie would have been so much better if I was in it."
right.
Right? So she reframes it to where she doesn't feel like it's a negative thing that she wasn't
Towards
chosen
her.
to
Yeah.
role, but she recognizes who she is, and her confidence and self-esteem actually is boosted when she says that movie would have been so much better with,
Right.
with me in it, versus her feeling like something is wrong because she wasn't chosen. Everything is always a choice. You get to choose your outcome. And I know we love to believe
Right.
that everything is out of our control, but it absolutely is not. We are creators and we have the power to speak what it is that we want.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was just looking for my little wheel. I have the little wheel that says things that are in my control versus things that are not. So the things that are not in your control, those are things that you shouldn't worry about. But things that are in your control, like you mentioned, Kiki Palmer
Mm-hmm.
situation, and she changed that into a positive, or just knowing that everything is not meant for you. So just because you don't get something or something doesn't go the way that you plan, even down to driving to work, girl, there's been so many times I'm
I'm
like,
telling you,
okay, let me leave at this time so I could be there at this time.
I'm
Guess what?
telling
I still get there at the same time, and maybe I avoided an accident, maybe I
you.
avoided a flat
Mhm,
tire. Like,
mhm.
things just happen because that's where you're supposed to be at that time. So if
Right.
something's for you, it's for you. I always encourage people to, of course, to think positive, but in those moments where something bad happens in your mind, you think that's bad, that might not be so bad. That might have you might have
Right.
saved yourself from some other stress that you might not even know
Amen.
about right now.
Say
So
it again.
definitely, I love that reframing mindset, and then also trying to be more positive versus thinking negative thoughts. And I
Right.
don't think that we realize how many times we think negative, though. Like, if you
Because we're
really
so
think
used
about it,
to it.
yes,
Mhm.
like for real. I really, I'm gonna try. Let's try that. Let's try that, LaToya. Let's do that challenge.
Yeah, we're doing it.
4 hours.
24 hours of
Hmm.
only speaking positive things. And I mean, this goes down to whatever it is that's happening. And it's going to take training. So it may not initially come off naturally for you. But
Right.
awareness is the beginning, right? You becoming aware that, wait a minute, let me see if what I'm saying about my life, my mental state of being, my physical health, let me
Right.
see if what I'm saying will have an effect on that. Let me see if what I'm saying will have an effect on the relationships, on the friendships. if what I'm saying will have an effect on my peace of mind, that's the beginning of it. And then becoming aware, like, oh man, I don't have no money for gas. Just an example, right? To
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful that I always have an abundance to be able to get gas. Like
Right.
it's going to be different. It's a completely different way for your brain to think when you've gone 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years utilizing words. So this is a change in language for you. But the good news is it is possible. All things are possible.
Absolutely.
So 24 hours. What is and the best, this is the thing about it. This is what I love. I love talking about side effects. There are no side effects to this. There
Right.
are only good effects to this,
Right. Right.
right? Nothing but positive can come from it, from you
Right.
saying and speaking positive over yourself, over your circumstances, over your situation.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes to men too, because we were talking about Lupus Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
Were you aware that men can get lupus too?
Absolutely.
Men can get lupus too. So, 90% of the diagnoses go to women, but men can get it too. And some research even says that whenever they experience symptoms of lupus, they are worse. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're worse in men. So, men, 24 hours of reframing for you as well. Reframing what it is that you say, how you view things. And I know a lot of men are more realist and they love to say, well, I have to look at this how it is so I can make sure I do something about it. And that's fine.
You are
However,
doing something with that
there
positive.
you go.
You
There you
just
go.
changed it. You just changed your mindset, changed your
Exactly.
course, changed everything with that
Exactly.
positive statement. And I'm glad you mentioned, because women of color, African American, or just women of color in general, are um, commonly misdiagnosed. They're told that they're just under a lot of stress, maybe before getting any answers, or being diagnosed with lupus. So that's a very good point to bring up about the men also being able to be diagnosed with lupus, even though, like you said, it's rare that you hear. But I'm sure that there are some people out there who aren't diagnosed, or misdiagnosed with something else. But that definitely is a good point. But I think that everyone just need to pay attention to their body. Like you said, most times your body is trying to tell you something. If you feel like something is off, it is usually. And that's
Yes.
your body talking to you. You got to learn to trust yourself, trust what you're feeling,
Right.
and react to that. Do something about it.
Right.
Of course, we talk about with functional medicine, taking a look at your whole body as a whole.
Higher.
Lab works, lifestyle, emotional wellness, and
Mhm.
physical symptoms that you're having. But so I know that you said you had your consultations were full last time we spoke, but I'm
Mhm.
gonna open up some spots
Okay.
for for consultations. And LaToya, do you have any available as well, or
Well, right now,
are you? I know you
free
busy.
consultations, they're booked out until my first one will be next. Let me look at my calendar before. I want to make sure I'm accurate
Yeah,
here.
I'm gonna open up 5 spaces. I'm gonna
Ooh,
open up 5 spaces, um,
yeah.
throughout, well, what is May? It's still May. Girl, time is flying by. When I tell you the month feel like 2 weeks.
That part.
But yeah, I'm gonna open up 5 spots for consultation for root cause blood work analysis, for in light of Mental Health Awareness Month and also Lupus Awareness Month.
Yes. 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 My
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
my first spot. No, I wanted you to finish, and then
Oh no,
I'll.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah. Go ahead. Go
it's
ahead. Go ahead.
something. It's important to, if you feeling symptoms within your body are feeling off, it's important to at least do the consultation with your root cause blood work analysis to
Yes.
see what's going on. So yeah,
Right. That's
Yeah.
very important. That's very important. And the good thing about Sweet TMP is along with her, you also get, and I know people kind of get like, mental health ain't nothing wrong with me mentally, but you have someone that can actually hear you and listen to you,
Mhm.
right? And it's a safe space and it's a judgment-free zone, which means she's listening to you with fresh ears, new ears. That's definitely the benefit of going to her. I myself can't say that I offer that.
No, I listen, I do
No,
feel
because
like
that's her specialty. That's what I'm telling you. So it's not a lot of people that can do that and not only do it, but do it correctly, do it accurately, and do it where it's effective for people, right? You have to know what you're doing. You got to really be able to help people out, right? Whenever they come and speak to you. But my next blood work analysis consultation will be Memorial Day. So I have openings for May 26th, and some availability from that day forward. So if you are interested in, looking at your blood work to see, you know what, I really want to know, because some people don't want to know. And I
Mhm.
understand that. And for you people, the ones of you who don't want to know, I definitely encourage you to utilize this, especially, excuse me, if you are planning on having a healthy life.
Mhm.
If there are goals that you want to accomplish, if you feel like you, again, like I said, you haven't seen Italy yet, you haven't been to Jamaica yet, you haven't gotten on a plane yet, whatever that is that you really have wanted to do in this life and you haven't had an opportunity to experience it yet, the blood work analysis could be your way into, because mind you, blood work analysis is not a shutdown for you. Blood work analysis is an opportunity for you. It's a way for you. It's a way to contribute to the betterment of your life. So it is really something that can help you in the long run versus you being told something, that fear comes you being told something and there's no one to help you. The difference here is you're being told, hey, these are some areas that you can use improvement, and I'm here to help you with that.
Right.
So you're
Create
not
that
doing it.
customized
Hmm.
plan for everyone who you see.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
But inbox me, fix it. Inbox me, fix it. And we still have, I had a good response with the cellular cleanses.
Yeah.
Had a really
Oh,
good
absolutely.
response with the cellular cleanses. So we talked a little bit about that last week. But Sweet TMP, you go on, because I'll keep going.
No, I was just gonna say, when you mentioned the thing about therapy, or about people
Yes.
saying they don't need therapy, I,
Mm-hmm.
people do therapeutic things on a daily basis without even realizing. You call and talk to your friend, or you call and talk to that person, you are still releasing tension, releasing some anxiety, and getting things off your chest. So I don't think people should view therapy as like something's wrong with me. I don't need fixing. You know what I mean? It's
That
more
part.
of a, even um learning techniques, or just learning more about yourself and how you deal with emotions, or how you handle emotions, and how, if you don't handle your emotions so well, how that can stress out your body. So it definitely sheds light on a lot of different things, and it's not just something's wrong with you, you need to be fixed, so you need therapy. No, and LaToya, you provide a good, you are very, don't be acting like you can't give any therapeutic
Communication. Yes.
communication. Yes.
I
You're
can do
very,
that.
you absolutely, absolutely.
Do that.
We do it all the time as providers. We do it all
Yes.
the time.
Yes.
Just about
I can.
every person you see, I'm sure you give some type of therapeutic conversation, or therapeutic information,
Yes.
techniques, things for people to do outside of the clinic with you. That's very therapeutic, and give yourself credit for that, girl.
I will. I will.
Yeah.
And I absolutely do. You're right. I am I'm really amazing at therapeutic communication,
Mhm.
really, and helping people to see who they are, recognize their own goals, and helping them develop a plan to go for it, which is what brought me into holistic medicine in the first place, and really getting to, the source and the cause of people's problems, is helping them to see this is where things have kind of, had some disarray going on in this area, but there's hope, because this is what we we can do together based on what's happening with you, and making sure that people can still eat things that taste good while we are helping them to heal. I can definitely say that is a strength for sure. And I do
Yeah,
give myself a pat on the back for that. But
absolutely.
I also give credit to whom credit is due, and it's in the power of my hand to do it. And when it comes down to you providing the therapy, I would absolutely say, as someone who has spoken to you on different levels, that you are the business when it comes to that. And, you
You.
know, knowing how to also help people to recognize areas in their life where there can be improvement, and helping them to create a plan to do that. I can definitely say you are the jam when it comes to that, for sure. For
Thank
sure.
you. Well, thank you, LaToya.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. I
that was
appreciate
my session.
it.
My next one.
You know I'm here, bestie. So, oh, I wanted to touch on. So this week I created a, we always get inquiries and things like, "What's going on? What are you offering?" I
Oh
need to know
yeah.
more from our
Yeah.
family and friends. So
Yeah.
I created a family and friends little package for,
Yeah.
yeah, for family and friends. So I really want, because honestly I do. You know how when you know better, you do better. So
Yeah.
learning more about functional medicine, learning more about treating things naturally and how our body is self-healing, how we can avoid reaching that state of disease, and
Mm-hmm.
just through lifestyle changes and changing the way that we do things, girl.
Mm-hmm.
So disrespectful.
Gotta keep
Anyway,
goodbye. Goodbye.
right. But
Was that
so
just a bye?
no, yeah, right. Not good. But so changing the way that we do things,
Yeah.
I wanted to bring that to my family and friends and let them know
Yeah.
that there is a different way. When you
Yes.
learn something, you want to show everybody, like, "Hey, look at this. Look what
Right.
but everybody's
Right.
not on that same
No.
yeah, same frequency that you're on, or
No.
same level that you're on at this time, and that's okay. But
That
just
is
know
okay.
that when you get there,
You're
I'm
ready.
here.
You're ready.
So,
And
yeah.
that's important. Like you said, I mean, all my listen, all my parents have gone through the cellular cleanse, or they're still going through it.
Mhm.
Because again, I recognize, in my years of healthcare, what is something that is actually working? What is something that's actually beneficial? And I
Right.
don't want them to necessarily have to only take medications and that be their only way. I also want to make sure that they stay safe. And
Mhm.
this is for my family and my friends. So, that is why it was important to me to create a family and friends special or pricing plan, or so that they can also have a way to healing,
Right.
right? To truly healing, and to really experiencing for the first time in life, or maybe from the first time since they were like teens before they had kids, what natural energy feels like, what it feels like to not feel burnt out all
Yeah.
of
To
these.
not need that cup of coffee, that energy drink,
Yeah,
that whatever it is you do on a daily basis to help give you
feeling the
that.
energy drinks, and
Yeah.
claiming they were getting B12.
Mhm.
Whoever, you know who I'm talking about, who you are. You know what I'm talking about. I'm getting some B12. That is not the way we go about this. Let's
Yeah.
find another way. Because while that heart steady pumping, it's like, girl, what's going on? He's about some B12 just swimming through. Listen, it is not. No, we can find
Yeah.
another way. We can find another way.
Absolutely.
So it's
Absolutely.
really important. Like you said, you know better, you do better, you share, you give. However, what you cannot do is make people's decisions for them.
Absolutely.
Bottom line is it's completely up to you whether or not you want to take advantage of the opportunity, because sometimes it's just a matter of us not having access. But
Mhm.
now, especially with the Bloodwork besties on your side, and especially with you getting notifications about this live, which I know you got it, And I'm sure you've seen me. I'm sure you've looked up Sweet Tea EMP. People on her side, I'm sure you've seen her. I'm sure you've looked me up because we've done this together. So you have it available to you. It's just a matter of you actually reaching out. And it's so easy to say, oh, well, I got to do this. Oh, I got to pay this. Oh, you're going to always have to do that. You're going to always have to pay that. Those things are they're there. Okay. So you have to reframe on what's important to you. Right. I understand that these things are here. My health is very important because if I don't take care of my health, I won't be here to pay these things. Right.
Absolutely.
If I
That's
lose my
like
health, I'll lose my job. And
I was
get
just about to say, that's just like with working. Like, you don't
right.
put your job first. You put
Right.
yourself first. You put your family first.
You
You
have to.
absolutely have to make those changes. But like you said, it has to be a choice that you want to make. And because I only am here to support you. I can show you what needs to be done. I can show you how you can overcome your challenges, but I can't do the work for you. So
you can lead a horse to water, but you can't
make them drink.
Make them drink.
You can't make them drink. But I just feel like, just with the knowledge that I know today, I just feel like I could. So my grandma's not here anymore. But if I had known what I know,
baby, all the
if
time.
I had known what I know today, then you talking about healing diabetes.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
Yes.
yes, like
I think
it's
about
just
that too.
so many different things. High blood pressure. You don't have to take them pills for the rest of your life. You don't have to take that medicine for the rest of your life. Let's get
Yes.
you all the way together.
All the way.
All the way together. So just having that opportunity to give my knowledge to my family and friends, or just whoever wants it. Like, that's my passion. That's my passion.
And it's from the heart. And it's from the heart. And that's what I appreciate about you, is, just your sincerity when it comes to providing care. And I definitely understand that as well. I mean, those thoughts go through your mind. It's like even going through nursing school and looking at things that happened in my family. I'm like, wait a minute, this person was diagnosed with this, but why did this diagnostic assessment happen later? It should have happened earlier because they were experiencing these symptoms then. So you start to be able to educate your family, and it's in the same sense. Unfortunately, it's a negative connotation associated with natural medicine and natural herbs because people see that, especially in the African American community, they see that in a different light. And so much trust and dependability has been placed in a traditional healthcare system, which is good. We need surgeries at times. We need the emergency room at times. I'm not saying to not trust in that part of it. However, understand that historically, brown-skinned people were able to utilize herbs, okay, as medicine. Some brown-skinned people, some people all over the world like to utilize certain herbs now and think that it's supposed to heal everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. People definitely still use herbs. People use natural supplements for everything. LaToya, I think she's frozen. Let me see. All right. All right. Let me see. All right. Let me just restart this. I think she's still frozen. Little technical difficulty. LaToya.
Hey,
Girl, I don't know what happened.
I got to talking the truth, and the technology says, shoot.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, what's going on?
But yeah,
okay, I was gonna have to restart it, but no.
Yeah, well, I was just saying that some people utilize herbs now, and they utilize it, and I'm talking about cannabis. Okay, so they use it, and it's like it's supposed to heal everything. So we can utilize that herb. Certain people can utilize that, and they see nothing wrong with it. They see it as healing properties. They see it as all beneficial. But then when it comes to other herbs that you're not familiar with, supplements you've not heard of, things like that, you then don't believe that it's a possibility that this could actually help you, heal you, and make you better. So what I'm saying is, don't be a believer in one thing over the other, especially if you haven't talked to someone who's familiar with it, and if you haven't done research along with someone who's familiar with it on the benefits and what you need to really help you. And the food component is major. It's a major part of what we do. When you think about, and you know, you have some people like, oh, I don't eat that much food. I don't eat that much food. I just really snack. And so I say, okay, what kind of snacks you eat? It's trash.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so not only are you depleting your body of nutrients, when you do give it something, you're giving it trash where
Yeah,
it can't
zero
utilize,
nutrients.
yeah, it can't pull anything from you. So it's very, very important to make sure that, you know, you're making the right choices when it comes to taking care of this, what do you call it, the divine body.
Divine.
Divine body.
Yeah. Yeah, and LaToya, also, a lot of, if people just do their research, you can research this on your own. A lot of medications, most all medications come from an herb.
The
So
way that the herb works.
yeah, so they actually take
Blueprint.
what a certain part of the herb out that does what it's supposed to do, and then create this
Medication.
pill with of course added chemicals and things to it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, don't be so shy, or don't be so afraid
Negative.
to even try something that has been done for years. Like you said, there are people in other countries are still,
Do it all the time.
yeah, they're still doing it the old fashioned old way
It's
that our ancestors, that everyone else did things, and they are living very healthy lives.
very
So
healthy.
yeah, so I think that just having that open mindset and just learning new things, like having an open mind, period. You
Mhm.
don't know everything, and just understand that life is a learning journey. You're going to continue to learn till the day you die.
Right.
So not just
Exactly.
having that stuck concrete mindset, but yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100% with things we put in our body, medications and things that we are on and taking on a daily basis, but just having the mindset to want to shift that and do something different definitely is something that everyone has to be ready for and do on their own.
Reframing. That's the
Reframing. Yep.
mhm. Yes.
Yes,
Put
ma'am.
positivity. Put positivity along with it. Put positivity along with it. I mean, you have reliable and dependable sources here, along with your positive mindset. Who knows what you can achieve? I believe that, you know, you can go past the sky. I don't believe that the sky is your limit. Okay. I believe you can go past the sky. I believe anything can happen for you if you connect yourself with the right people who have the right knowledge and who actually benefit from you benefiting, right? I
Right.
do well when my clients do well because they're going to go tell someone else, listen, I
Yeah.
worked with her and I did well, and they're going to bring me someone else. But if I'm just doing this and when people actually work with me, there is nothing, then there's no benefit for them. And then there's no benefit for me because they bring me no one else.
Right.
So, you know, that was my evidence and my reassurance for sure. And continues to be by seeing the people that I'm working with one on one really and truly get healed and get that
Mhm.
one on one attention they deserve.
Mhm. Yeah, that's very rewarding. Very rewarding when you see the actual healing from your
Hmm.
clients. That's very rewarding, and that's what we all want, especially as providers. We're trying to help you get to where you're supposed to be on that journey. But I
Hmm.
just wanted to mention that I am for the family friend package that I created. You can either DM me or text me family glow or friend glow if you're interested in that, and I'll get that information to you out there. All my family and friends who are listening, I got you covered. Sweet Tea MP across all platforms, and also you can text me friend glow or family glow if that's something that you're interested in.
Right. And I'm the other Bloodwork bestie, LaToya D. Buchanan, also known as the Bloodwork MP on all major social media platforms. Cellular Cleanse, still got a couple of spots left, not too many, but there's still 379. Listen, 30 days, can't beat it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. That really, that their 30-day do it yourself really is a steal. Like, and
Yes.
then the package that I put together for the family and friends also includes that 30-day
Ooh,
yourself. So
I
yeah.
better. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
no joke.
Trying to show them something. Let me show you
Yeah.
something.
You're showing them all right. You're going to show them big time. Big time.
Yeah. So, all right, LaToya, well, it's always a pleasure with you. It's always a good time. Very informative information or live today.
Mm-hmm.
And we definitely will be back next week.
We will be back next week, y'all. Now,
Yeah.
listen, that's for this month because it's Mental Health Awareness Month. And we are utilizing to make sure we can reach out to anyone who is dealing with negative thoughts, negative mentality. We want to uplift you this month for sure. But we were doing once a week for you guys out there, just so you can make sure you have something positive in your listening ear every week. After this month, we will be going to once a month. Okay.
Yeah.
So take advantage of these, take advantage of the recordings. You never know, you may hear something that will change your life or may fix you.
Yeah. And if there's something in particular you guys want us to talk about or you would like to hear on the next live, which we got 2 more for this month.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 more for this month.
Mm-hmm.
Either comment below or DM us and we'll be happy to touch on it or discuss
Absolutely.
it in the next one. Yep.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm out of here, Miss LaToya.
Me too.
I'm about to get ready to kick back. It's been a long week.
Yes.
It's been a long week. All right. Well, I appreciate you.
Yes,
and everyone else. I'll catch you next time.
Next time.
On the Chanel Love 22 podcast. Peace out. Chanel Love 22. It's a vibe. Like, follow, and subscribe. Disclaimer. The information shared on the Chanel Love 22 podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not medical advice. Neither the host, guest, nor the podcast assumes responsibility for any actions taken based on this content. Listeners are strongly encouraged to consult a licensed healthcare provider before making any changes to their health, including medications, supplements, or treatments. This podcast is intended to comply with applicable regulations. However, it is not a substitute for legal or medical advice specific to your location. Listeners outside of the United States should ensure they follow healthcare guidance and regulations relevant to their regions. Thank you for listening, and remember, health is wealth.